He was roommates with Jon Stewart.
In the mid-90s, at the time he joined the cast of SNL, Ferrell was roommates with none other than The Daily Show's Jon Stewart, who at the time had not yet taken the reins of the Comedy Central program.
He has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Will Ferrell had a banner year in 2015. Not only did he receive GQ Comedian of the Year award, he also received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on March 26. It's located at 6767 Hollywood Boulevard.
He is a huge advocate for the Cancer for College organization.
Will Ferrell has been friends with the Cancer for College founder Craig Pollard since they attended college together. The organization helps cancer survivors afford the often insurmountable costs of higher education. Since Craig founded the foundation, Ferrell has been helping and fundraising in every way he can, be it attending their annual golf tournament, throwing out pitches at baseball games, doing Reddit AMA, or auctioning off walk-on roles in movies, which by itself raised over $0. Ferrell calls Cancer for College one of the purest charities he has ever seen, and says the annual golf tournament is the highlight of his year.
He has a wife and 3 sons.
Will Ferrell met his wife, Swedish actress and professional auctioneer Viveka Paulin, in an acting class in 1995. They wed 5 years later in August of 2000. They have 3 sons: Magnus Paulin Ferrell, born in 2004, Matthias Paulin Ferrell, born in 2006, and Axel Paulin Ferrell, born in 2010.
He believes his brand of comedy comes from not holding anything back.
If there's one thing Will Ferrell is known for, it's going all the way for his laughs. Whether it's running naked through quad, screaming, or putting his fake balls on the drum set, there's seemingly nothing off the table. What I recognized when I started doing comedy was that I'm probably not the wittiest, not the fastest on my feet, but the one thing I can guarantee is that I won't hold anything back, Ferrell explained to Esquire. It was just funnier to me, and it played funnier when instead of just yelling at someone in a scene, you're yelling to the point where you're losing your voice that one extra step. If that's what's called for within the context, isn't that our job as comedians?
He doesn't just act.
Will Ferrell is quite active in the entertainment community, and not only as an actor. He has produced a number of television shows, such as Drunk History, Eastbound and Down, and Between Two Ferns. He also produced several films, including Hot Rod and Virginity Hit, as well as many of his own movies. He's written many of his classic comedies like Night at the Roxbury, Anchorman, and Step Brothers, and he founded Funny or Die.
He was the first and last guest on The Late Show with Conan O'Brien.
For a very short period of time following Jay Leno's first retirement, Conan O'Brien hosted The Late Show. A controversy emerged when ratings dipped after O'Brien's debut. This led Leno to return to the show, while O'Brien left to host a new series, TBS. As it happens, Will Ferrell was the guest on O'Brien's first episode as host of The Late Show, as well as his last.
He's had that scar on his abdomen since he was a baby.
Ever notice that large scar whenever Ferrell is shirtless? That's from a surgery he had as a baby to treat pyloric stenosis. It's a condition that causes frequent vomiting.
had his share of odd jobs before his career took off.
Before SNL and his successful film career, Will Ferrell went through his share of odd jobs. He was a teller at a bank and a valet at the Newport Beach Meridian Hotel. Also, for 5 weeks, he played Santa Claus at a mall in Pasadena, CA, where friend and future co-star Chris Catton also worked as an elf.
He credits growing up in Suburbia with making him funny.
Speaking with the Orange County Register, Ferrell said he thinks he became funny because of the monotony and safety of growing up in a nice neighborhood, growing up in Suburbia in safe, master-planned Irvine. There was no drama, so we had to create it in our heads. My main form of entertainment was cracking my friends up and exploring new ways of being funny. I didn't have to have the survival mode instinct like other comics who grew up in tough neighborhoods. I had the opposite. For me, I grew up in Mayberry, and the humor broke the boredom. And there was a lot to make fun of.
He loves that Cowbell skit as much as you do.
In an episode from SNL in 2000, Ferrell appeared alongside fellow castmates and host Christopher Walken in a skit poking fun at the quite noticeable Cowbell part in the Blue Oyster Cult song Don't Fear the Reaper. It became an instant classic among fans, and made a catchphrase out of Walken's line "Needs more cowbell." Not only has Ferrell revisited the bit multiple times during a hosting stint of SNL years later, and in the Beastie Boys music video Make Some Noise, but spoke fondly about it during a Reddit AMA in 2014, I will say off the top of my head that my two favorite sketches that I was part of had to have been the Harry Carey Space Show with Jeff Goldblum and, of course, the Cowbell sketch with Christopher Walken.
He pops up in Kingpin.
In the Farrelly Brothers' 1996 film Kingpin, there is a final bowling match between Woody Harrelson and Bill Murray. During the peak of the match, someone yells, "Ernie, you're the man." That was a young Will Ferrell representing Team Murray.
He turned down Million to do Elf 2.
Will Ferrell doesn't just sign on to any film for the money. For instance, he was offered a staggering $1 million to star in the sequel to the hit 2003 comedy Elf, but he turned it down. That's what was on offer for it. But I killed the idea of a sequel. I remember asking myself, could I withstand criticism when it's bad and they say he did the sequel for the money? I decided I wouldn't be able to. I didn't want to wander into an area that could erase all the good work I've done. But you watch, I'll do some sequel in the future that's crap.
There's a backstory behind the piano key tie in Zoolander.
In the 2001 film Zoolander, Ferrell plays Mobutu, a fashion mogul. The character's claim to fame is creating the piano key necktie, an invention that coincidentally relates to Ferrell's father. Lee Ferrell was the keyboardist and also saxophonist for the Righteous Brothers.
Part of what the media describes as the Frat Pack.
Because of appearances in old-school Zoolander, and even The Cable Guy, critics lump Ferrell in with a group of comedic actors known as the Frat Pack. Films from this group often feature numerous other so-called members, including Ben Stiller.
He loves that he and Chad Smith look alike.
Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer Chad Smith and Will Ferrell bear a striking resemblance to each other. Naturally, the pair love to use this resemblance in the service of comedy. They did just that on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, where they engaged in a drum-off. Check out the interview preceding the drum-off in the video above. He said in his Reddit AMA, "It has been acknowledged many times that myself and Chad Smith. A lot of people think that it's me playing for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. But that would be an insult to Chad Smith. The truth of the matter is there is no Will Ferrell, only Chad Smith."
The Roxbury guys began as a Groundlings sketch.
The Groundlings is a prestigious improv school in Los Angeles. It was there that Will Ferrell and fellow student/future SNL co-star Chris Kattan developed their now famous Roxbury guys that later developed into the feature film A Night at the Roxbury. In 2014, when Ferrell was asked how they came up with that iconic head shape, he said, "I don't know exactly. I think it was Chris Kattan and myself just acting stupid in my apartment when we wrote that sketch for the Groundlings show that we were in at the time. It's also what happens when the beat of any Hathaway song hits your ear."
He was the highest paid SNL cast member of all time.
Will Ferrell had a long and impressive run on SNL from 1996 to 2002. Near the end of his tenure, he became the highest paid cast member ever, making $0 a season beginning in 2001. This pay raise was likely due to the actor's popularity, both on SNL, in particular his portrayal of President George W. Bush and beyond.
He and his wife are avid runners.
You'd never guess it from his nude lap through the quad in Old School, but Ferrell is an avid runner. Both he and his wife ran the Boston Marathon in April 2003, where his official time was 4 hours, 2 minutes, and 29 seconds. 2 years prior, they ran the New York City Marathon together, and there his time was 5 hours, 1 minute, and 56 seconds.
He found his love for performing while doing the morning announcements.
Will Ferrell went to University High School in Irvine, California, and was responsible for the morning announcements there. Naturally, he did them in various wacky voices, and would even perform full skits with his friends over the intercom. It was here that his love for performing was born.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.